Summer has officially arrived. Well, it's been here for the past 20 plus days, but still, nonetheless, summer has officially arrived, and you know what that means, guys? Top 5 summer videos are officially back. Before I continue on, I know you all are asking one particular question. Where is the crew? And the answer is they will not be here for these top 5 videos, only for a couple of reasons. One being that scheduling has only gotten much harder in these subsequent couple of years. Plus, with this particular top 5 video, I guarantee they wouldn't even be able to make a top 5. If you have seen the title of this video, for the first top 5 video of the summer, I'm here to give you guys my top 5 of one of my favorite production companies out there, and that is A24. Yeah, you can see now why the crew would not be involved in this. If you've been following my channel for quite some time, you will all know that I love A24's films, or I would say for the majority of the time, minus 2 other films, Spring Breakers and A Ghost Story. A couple of guidelines I must always issue. First thing being is this, and this is probably the most shocking one. I have not seen every single A24 film, which I know you guys are probably going like, 2. This is my subjective list, because if we have all seemed to have forgotten this, film is subjective, not objective. Third and final, let's just have a great time talking about a great production company, at least in my eyes, and my favorite films of theirs. Now, before I continue on, as you all can imagine, yes, I do have a couple of honorable mentions, because do not get me wrong, guys, I love the majority of A24 Films' catalog, but there were a couple of films that did not make the cut, and those films are Ex Machina, Lady Bird, Good Time, Saint Maud, that almost made it on there, and The Spectacular Now. With all of that being said, let's get on to my top 5 A24 films. Let's get it on! Number 5. Kicking off my top 5, at my number 5, I'm going to introduce this movie with one quote. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? I love The Witch. The Witch is in my top 3 horror films the last decade, and remember when I had said that I had seen this movie about 13 times? Yeah, make that 15 now. Something that kind of blows my mind is knowing that Robert Eggers doesn't like this movie. What? I completely get it. It's your first time feature, and maybe some things didn't quite plan out the way that they did because it is your first feature. But seriously, I think you're being a bit too hard on yourself, man, because for your first feature, this is terrific. From the paranoia, fear, the dramatic aspect, seeing this family being torn apart and knowing that the witch in the film was only the catalyst of the events, the beautiful cinematography, and the score. Mark Corvin's score of The Witch is just, it's a score that every time I hear it, it makes me shiver. Robert Eggers has since gone on to make 2 other great films, Lighthouse and The Northman, which, oh my god, I could talk about The Northman for ages. If you're into the Salem Witch Trials as much as I am, if you're into these period horror films, I understand if you might be a bit bored at the start of it, but keep going and you just might come out of the other end loving it. Number 4. Going on to my number 4 spot. Don't touch me, motherfucker. I couldn't resist with that one. Oh my god. The Disaster Artist is my number 4. The Room is my number 1 guilty pleasure of all time. I mean, if you haven't seen The Room, guys, please do yourself a favor and check that movie out as soon as you possibly can, especially if a group of friends haven't seen it. Have them on the phone, because I'm telling you all right now, watching The Room will be one of the greatest communal experiences you'll ever see in your home theater. Trust me when I say this, guys. This movie is based on the book of the same name, The Disaster Artist, and this is actually one of the rare times, I mean, I haven't done this since Goblet of Fire came out. I have not read a book before or listened to the audiobook before I saw the film in about 10 years. Yeah, it has been that long. There were a couple of things from the book that I was a bit disappointed that they weren't in the film. Nonetheless, though, what we have here is a movie that could have been just a parody on Tom Always So and its making of The Room, but more than anything else, what I absolutely about Disaster is that it's a love letter to not only The Room, but to the friendship of Tom Always So and Greg Sestero, especially the post-credit sequence. I mean, if you've seen the post-credit sequence, it is one of the greatest post-credit sequences I have ever seen. If you haven't seen The Disaster Artist, guys, please check it out. If you haven't seen The Room, please check it out. Oh my god, that's a great double. The Room followed by The Disaster Artist. I am so doing that. Oh man, going on to my number 3 spot. You want to talk about a film that will give you major anxiety? Let's talk about Uncut Gems, shall we? Quick little story time for you all. Every Christmas, I see a movie, and Uncut Gems was coming out near Christmas time, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make Uncut Gems my Christmas movie of 2019. I was exhausted from all the festivities with my family, but I still decided to go see Uncut Gems that night. I'm telling you all right now, I went from exhausted, and right when the first 5 minutes happened, I went wide awake because, my God, did this movie give me such an adrenaline pump to the point where I swear to God, I was awake until 6 a.m. I definitely think that the Safdie brothers are the masters of giving you almost a panic attack, really. Adam Sandler's comedies, yeah, not good. However, when it comes to his more dramatic performances, that couldn't be any more polar opposite, because whenever that Adam Sandler gives a dramatic performance, he is usually Academy Award worthy. Adam Sandler does play a character who's kind of a dick, but at the same time, you're still compulsively watching him making his decisions, trying to get away from these loan sharks, trying to balance his life out. You cannot stop watching because Adam Sandler is so good in this role. From what I've been hearing, the Safdie brothers are going to be working with Adam Sandler again. I cannot wait for this. Number 2. Alrighty guys, coming on to my top 2 favorite A24 films. Now, this might shock you, but coming on my number 2 spot. Yep, that's right. Hereditary. This might shock you all because I guarantee a lot of you are probably thinking, alright, come on, Austin, we all know your number 1's Hereditary. Well, glad to say that I've shocked you, at least I hope I have. I love this movie. If you have seen my top 10 favorite horror films the last decade, this was my number 1. There are a few horror films out there that have traumatized me. This is one of them. I could gush about Hereditary for ages on end. I could talk about Ari Aster's directing, the writing, the phenomenal performances, and I will still not get over the fact that Toni Collette was not nominated for Best Actress because she damn well should have been. The bone-chilling musical score. The first time I saw this film at the press screening, that sequence with Charlie and that post, the moment that sequence happened, I will never forget the reaction that me and my buddy Sarah had, and we were just thinking to each other, where is this gonna go? And from there on out, we were in shock and awe. Mainly in shock because of how scared we were. Not only is Hereditary one of the scariest films I have seen in a long time, but it's honestly one of the scariest films I have ever seen. It's number 1. Coming on to my number 1 favorite A24 film. Now before I do reveal it to you all, I guarantee you guys are probably thinking, wait, what? Hereditary is number 1? What's number 1? Hereditary was my number 1 for a long time, until I saw one film that blew my mind. And my number 1 favorite A24 film is The Green Knight. God, I love this movie! I did not know what to expect from this movie at all. And here's the thing, like I mentioned earlier, what's one of my least favorite A24 films? A ghost story. So knowing that, I went into this movie with quite a bit of skepticism, knowing it was that even though I really dug Pete's Dragon a lot. Those of you who know me personally, one of my biggest loves in my life is the lore of King Arthur. When this movie started, it's like it cast a spell on me, and the moment this movie ended, I did not want that spell to end. It's a visceral movie, it's a cerebral movie, it's an amazing looking movie, the storytelling is absolutely brilliant. While this movie may not follow King Arthur, instead follows Sir Gawain and his nephew, and while it may follow his perspective instead, it still takes you on this journey in this amazingly beautifully crafted world that David Lowery has brought for us. Knowing it's not the destination that gives you what you want, but it's the journey that builds you up with courage, honor, bravery, knowing the legacy that you'll leave behind, and just knowing how it builds you up to knowing your ultimate fate or knowing your destiny. This is a movie that I am so happy to exist, and just talking about it right now makes me want to watch it all over again. I adore The Green Knight, and for all those reasons, and I know I'm forgetting a couple of things, oh my god, the music. The music is so good, oh my god. That is why The Green Knight is my #1 favorite A24 film. That's gonna wrap it up for my top 5 favorite A24 films of all time. I guarantee this list is gonna change in some way, shape, or form down the road, but that's the list for the time being. So comment down below and let me know, what are your top 5 favorite A24 films, and also give me a couple of honorable mentions. Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames in the description below. I hope y'all enjoyed my top 5 A24 films. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for my latest top 5 goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 videos, please click on it right there or right there. And of course, if my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.